obviously we've experienced COVID for about a year now.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say we're experienced by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, we've sort of been able to adjust and become acclimated to all these different changes and rules and regulations.
Yes.
What is it like to just like still in the midst of all of that be able to promote the music that you put out?
For me, it's like a new level of staying on your toes. Because the climate is always changing, because there's so many rules, there's so many limits on things, you do have to be very creative as far as getting yourself out there, promotion. If you are going to bring people together, make sure you're taking the right precautions. And, you know, it's a lot to work around, but I think it does keep as a creative, it keeps you sharp.
Have you done like a show?
So, all right, check this out. So I was supposed to have a show.
Here we go.
April 24th. It was supposed to be in the Ville. It was a car show. Bad weather. You know,
Car show.
Yeah.
Socially distanced. They put them cars like
I don't
6
know
feet
how
apart.
they was gonna do it.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you was riding around the Ville right now, they kind of have car shows like every day now.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Pandemic made people bring the whips out.
Yeah, the whips are out.
It's kind of crazy.
I was about to say in Fayetteville they kind of always have the whips out, but
I mean, like they're lining up.
Okay,
Like, at the gas station. The new turn up is at the gas stations, at the damn tobacco store.
Okay.
And everybody got their
Shout out
cars
to the
out.
gas station, man. Shout out to the gas station shows. So you were supposed to have a show. What happened?
So I was supposed to have a show, inclement weather. You know, Fayetteville weather come through. It could be 105 one day, and then it'd be 65 the next morning.
Yeah.
Then raining that afternoon.
Okay.
You
It's
know what I'm saying?
snowing
So
at
it was just
night.
mad rainy. So the show got rescheduled to a later date. Not sure when yet, but when it do, I'm going to tear the roof off that bitch.
You tried to do anything virtual? Like not necessarily a show, but have you tried to tap into that virtual space that everybody's trying to find their way in?
I'm not going to lie. I have not tapped into the virtual show. Why? Because in the times where most people was doing it, probably the best time to do it, I was still finishing up the album. You know what I'm saying? I was still putting the final touches on Up From Here.
That's fair.
So I was kind of still in that cellar, you know.
That's That's cool. That's cool. If you checked in right now, this is Elevator Radio. I'm your host, LB. We've got some guests in the building. We're going to keep playing this because I fuck with this shit.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
hard
You know what I'm
right
saying?
there.
You might
That's
have to put
hard.
this on the beginning of the next.
Oh,
You know what I'm
God.
saying? You might have to go into something. I'm almost kind of mad that I'm going to keep pressing this. I'm almost kind of mad that it doesn't have more. That's all it gives
Right.
me.
Made me
But
feel like I found a
stepping
body.
Stepping
Short
into
and
the
sweet.
building, one-time guest, twice as lucky. William Prize is here promoting his new album, Up From Here. It's already out. And you know what? We've rescheduled this maybe 4 or 5 times already.
Yes, sir.
But it's out now. You can go check that out. So make sure you do so. The handle is William.Prize, right?
Yes, sir.
On Instagram. Is that everywhere? Is that Twitter? Is it where are you?
So-
Facebook, YouTube?
On Twitter, it's William Prize, no dot. On Instagram, it's William.Prize. On Facebook, William Prize, normal. You know what I'm saying? I'm everywhere, William Prize.
I like that. You remember the days back when Facebook was around, so now we're getting introduced to Twitter and Instagram, and people had like 3 different names.
Yeah.
And they'd be like,
Yeah.
it'd be like William Prize, but then the Facebook would be like Too Cool.
Yeah.
William Too Cool Prize.
Yeah, and then your Instagram and then your Twitter would just be like the government if it wasn't if it wasn't your
Don't
rap
forget
name.
the 3 is the E.
It's the 3 is the E, man.
That's where you troll.
Man, and then turn that 9 to a 6, and yeah, it's a lot, man. But glad you came. You came up all the way from the Ville.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Nice
sir.
little cool 2.5 hour drive. So man, appreciate you being here.
Oh, man.
As I said, man, he's
Love.
promoting his album Up From Here. We're gonna talk about that in depth today. We're gonna get to song by
Break it
song.
down.
So no rush. You brought a guest in the building, came back around from the first interview. We don't have Faze today, but we got Cidy
Yeah, I'm here.
in the building.
Cidy P,
City's
everybody.
here.
Yes, sir. We're gonna get that. Matter of fact, we're gonna give you the nice little intro music too.
Okay.
Yeah, give me that.
Okay.
Y'all gonna hear that
Creep
again? I
in.
might have to sing.
That's
I might have to
like,
chop that.
man, that's like sneaky link music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Like, you just-
rendezvous.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how long this sneaky link thing, man?
Mm.
They outing us out here.
They are.
I mean, not me, because I'm not in that field anymore. Obviously,
Mm.
Cidy, you got somebody special back home?
I'm single right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm
We need
saying?
at least one because I can't be toxic enough to play the tightrope game if there's no
Right.
single dude in here. Because then
Right,
it's just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what you doing, bro?
Right.
You reaching at this point. But I want to start here. We're gonna jump right in. But before we talk about the album, I want to know where your mental space is. I want to know where your head space is. As mentioned before, there's a lot going on. We've lost a lot of people. Speak just to your well-being. How you feeling? For real though. Not like, don't tell me I'm good. Just been pushing, focusing on the music. So I'm
Right.
blocking everything out. Nah, we're not doing that. You're just going to get crickets.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Okay.
So real moment, shit.
Give me a scale of 1 to 10 and then break down what that means.
I say
All right, yo. Crickets
mentally
is
right
cricketing.
now, yeah, them crickets going in. I say mentally right now, if I had to put between 1 and 10, I'm at is 10 being great.
10 is like, I'm outstanding. I could die tomorrow and I've done enough.
Oh shit.
Okay.
One would be like, please help. I'm a minute from like suicide or checking in. Like one of
Right.
the two.
Oof.
And you can't pick 7.
Why can't you pick 7?
7 is
It's the
such
go-to
an
number?
easy answer. Yeah, you
All
can't
right.
be 7 because 7 is just like, I'm good, but I ain't get them shoes on Sneakers app. So,
Yeah.
I'm not as good, but I'm still good. Nah, you got.
Can we do decimals?
If you can explain why.
I'm gonna say
If
all
you
right.
can explain why,
okay.
you got a decimal.
I'm gonna say I'm at a.
Don't say 6.5. That's too
I
close
was
to
gonna
7.
say 6
Yeah.
point. I was gonna say 6.2.
6.2.
All right, explain why 6.2. Give me the whole number reason, and then why you felt the need to finagle that 0.2 on there.
Okay, so a 6 as a whole number, I would say because I have a means of direction as a creative. Whenever I have a means of direction where I'm going, everything else falls into place. So right now I'm focused on shooting a video for everything on my album, everything.
Okay.
I'm focused on promoting that to its utmost. So with that being in tune, it's got me thinking about how can I promote it with merch? How can I promote it with, any other way I can get out there? So it's keeping me sharp. I say I'm working so much. I had my regular life job, right? Not working that anymore. You know what I'm saying? But while I was working that, I was quite distracted from, just thinking about people that passed away.
Okay.
R.I.P. John Smith, R.I.P. Leandre Forbes, my brother from the Army and shit.
So make sure you stay in the mic. Man.
Oh, sorry about
Yeah,
that.
no, you good. You good. Usually you do it still to this day, so it's all good.
But yeah, shit. Other than that, just been really burying myself in the work. So that's kind of keeping me on a more positive note. I
Okay.
notice when you're an idol as a person, it kind of leaves more room for you to be down. You know what I'm saying? And for you to focus on the negatives and shit like that.
Yeah, all right.
The
So
other 0.8 is the 0.2 is
the 0.2 because it's not much.
I say
Like if you're gonna do a decimal, 2 is like hardly worth mentioning.
all right. So I'm gonna say 0.2, 0.2.
0.2, 0.2?
0.2, 0.2.
Point- wait.
2.2.
0.22? Like it's okay. So explain what does that mean?
I'll say because I know I'm going up. I've come across some opportunities that I'm currently getting ready for, preparing for. I ain't gonna speak on them too much, but that's definitely the up and up. So that's the plus. So it's up and it's got potential to go up more.
Okay, all right.
That's how I feel about 6.2.
So 6.2.
I like that.
6.2.
6.2.
City, how you gonna top that, man?
I'm not gonna lie.
You gonna give us the other 0.8?
I ain't even gonna give y'all the other 0.8 because I can't do 7. So I'm a really.
You was gonna be 0.8. That's it?
Yeah,
Nah, we
that's-
was gonna have to have a whole nother conversation.
Damn.
Sorry, Will. You can promote
0.8.
your album another day. We need an intervention today.
0.8. Nah, I'm gonna say 5 though, comfortably, because I feel like it's half and half. You feel me? I feel like
Not too high, not too low.
yeah, like I feel like I'm not where I want to be, but I'm kind of like learning to accept that and know that I'm working to get to where I want to be. So I'm kind of like, it's like I'm almost there. You feel me? But like, sometimes nigga reach them lows. So
Even then, you hit on something because I saw a
For
post
real,
the
yeah.
other day that speaks to sometimes we look too far in the future and not even realize the moment we're at is what we were striving for
Yeah.
Right.
before. So when you say that,
Yep.
you know, do y'all think about that? Do you think about, man, I'm living in the future a little bit too much, and let me pull it back in and really appreciate the moment I'm in?
Yeah, all the time.
Like, give yourself credit, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Actually, I put a song out called Presence of Passion, and that's kind of what it was all about. When you chasing a dream or chasing anything that you are passionate about, really, you always think about the end result. You thinking about the glamorous side of it all. Mm-hmm. But, you know, everybody kind of tends to forget that, you know, you're doing already what your dream is gonna be around anyways. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta stay present.
Right.
Now is the dream. I wanted to be a rapper. I write better verses than most people. Yeah. Now. You know what I'm saying?
All right, speak on it. Speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, that was
wrong. Oh, shit.
I haven't done this board before. Swale, man, you left me hanging. Usually he's the operator of the board, man.
Swale, where you at, man?
Hey, shout out Swale, though.
Yeah, man, shout out to you. He's out in Nashville somewhere kicking it up.
Ooh, Tennessee. That's my woods.
Yeah, man. Oh, you said Tennessee? Nah, Asheville, like North Carolina.
Oh, I thought you said Nashville.
Asheville. I thought you said Nashville.
Oh, no, not Nashville. Nah, I don't think he's done a show in Tennessee. Maybe.
Y'all should go out there, man. They got to.
Maybe one of them cabin joints. He's done like a cabin party, like type.
That's
joint,
hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like DJ set up outside and you got, you know, sort of space.
Yeah, that's hard.
But, all right, cool. Not too high, not too low. That's kind of like the theme for this album in a way.
Definitely.
Okay. You know what I mean? And you see how we transition right into what we need to speak to. So I said before we're gonna speak to the album. I don't know how often, because I'll be honest, I only saw one other interview. We can give him the plug.
As far as like on camera,
yeah. So we can plug them out. You want to shout them out real quick?
Let's Kick It 295 in the Ville, and also shout out Views from the Ville.
Yeah, man.
For
sure.
Man.
Shout out to everybody.
My peoples. They're my peoples right there.
Absolutely. Big ups to y'all. So I mean, that was the only one I caught. But I don't know how much you've actually been able to expound on what's going on throughout the album.
So I haven't. This would be the first chance I get to actually break it down.
We tried to do that, man. We tried to do that. And we're going to creep right in.
Let's get it.
Song number one. We're actually going to play the intro real quick. Okay. So if you want to introduce the intro real quick, we'll just go ahead and play that.
Hey, man. Elevated Radio, William Prize. Up from here, the intro is 83 feet / helipad flows, man. Lock in, put your seatbelt on.
That day I get my moment. Hey, check it out, man. I love. Yeah. I can. Let's go, Willie. Get a little insight on if that makes any sense. I like records that ride and they sound like.
My nigga on the radio.
Yo.
William Prize, nigga, check him out.
Wrapping up my first album, 4th quarter, I'm so money. Catalog strong, ill, and still ain't got no money. But the bank sitting full of self-love, and if it ever goes missing, I'm the one who stole from me, yeah. I'm the one who stole from me. Road bright and sunny on the path in which we road running. I'm gold hunting, digging deep through the dark space. I need that deal like where the cards lay. Sometimes your heart take place in the war against your mind, like when trying to reach your zenith, match you up with health and time. And they bison size. I greet them in the ring with Mike Tyson's eyes. This ain't a song, it's a prayer to an idol God. Wherever you are, please return. These are vital times, and honestly being wrong. The policy's bullshit, they shot at my skin tone. Lashes on my great grands took Colin from end zone. I've been strong behind the jokes, fighting tears off. To respond, John, from my life, I take years off. But gotta persevere, dawg. It's only up from here, dawg. Separate your fears, don't get discouraged when the cheer's soft. Yeah. Yeah. Shit. I've got some promises that I've gotta keep. You don't know the weight of this shit sitting on me. You don't know. Don't move and you won't grow. So far and so good. Got way more to go. Way more to go. I'm losing friends on the daily, but I'm still seeing wins on the daily. Devil tried, couldn't take me, I'm just trying to take it out from here. From here, from here, from here.
Hey, somebody tell these niggas fall back. The in disguise hate could never throw me off track. I smell mid, that must be all cap. Trying to shame my name, but in your brains you know I'm all that. They listening to my shit when they alone and never pause that. That's all facts. City made the beat, I'm about to off that. Lay it with LaFell and give them something they could scoff at. Narcotic flow is addictive, I'm more than efficient. The blueprint and mold for they image. The GOAT, man, lo and behold, you should know him as William. I'm loaded to kill him, I grip around the throats of these niggas. The poet opposing components getting thrown in a river. Bone I'ma give her until I make a moan in a pillar. Grab my keys and then it's on to the Skrilla. Kong and McGilla combined is not alarming this nigga. So who would I be to be scared of you? Especially when they bleed the blood I bleed and breathe the air I do. Hey, fuck a broad, this rapping shit the only thing I'm married to. And through the style I invented, no, I carried a few people from they lows to show them what to highlight. And still I kill the beat, the studio a fucking crime site. Then when I leave, I see that yellow tape all in my hindsight. My lines tight, ready for war, my money in my mind right. Pac told me bomb first, so I do that, then bomb twice. The flow is on ice, I'm talking cool as a jeweler. So you naming the wrong price, you wanna work in the future. Hey, cut that humble shit, humble niggas get stumped in the rubble. Better come with some confidence, you wanna romp in my jungle. It's only up from here. Is life a blessing or we stuck in here? Between the broken dreams, dope fiends, and preachers touching kids. Gotta expose it all. Rise or I fall. I took a ill spill today, but I'm rising tomorrow. The climbing is partnership, middle finger your garments and all of your comments. If it isn't the truth, you acknowledge it. No longer seeking the people's acknowledgement. Them helipad flows, I'm sitting on top of shit. I'm harder than whatever you thinking that harder is. It's only up from here, cause I never dwell on accomplishments. Nigga.
So, I'm a line guy. I like lines. I like lines that catch me. I like lines that are simple. I like lines that, you know, enough was said. You don't really have to dig any deeper. One of my favorite lines is by Drake, actually, which we have as consumers of hip hop, we have a love-hate relationship. Like true consumers of hip hop have a love-hate relationship with Drake. Definitely. And there's an internal conflict, I think, with a lot of us with where we put him as solely a rapper. And try to exclude everything else that he brings to it. Obviously, that's a much deeper conversation, because who's to say that all he encompasses should not be considered hip hop, right?
Right.
There's a fight there, but it's something he said in a song, and he said, "If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. The theory is brilliant," and that's the one line. I love that line.
Right.
It just sticks with me because, quite frankly, if you don't act as if you do, because we're all gonna see it.
Definitely.
Right? So I mentioned before, the theme of this album seems to be, I'm not gonna get high, I'm not gonna get too low. There's work to be done, but the process in which I get to where I need to get to, it's up from here.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
We're not exactly where we want to be, but we're building to get there. The first line that caught my attention in this song was Bank sitting full of self-love. And if it's ever going missing, I'm the one who's stolen from me. What does that mean? Because I thought that was pretty hard, but it could just be you just floating and you just saying that shit. But did that come from something? Where did that come from?
So shout out my song Self Love from Light Tape 2. That was one of my more important songs in my career so far. But just in my walk, you know, as a man, I found love for myself kind of late in the game. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of situations, you know, where I should be choosing me, I was choosing others. You know what I'm saying? Or choosing other people's. And not to say I'm a selfish, don't be selfish, but, you know what I'm saying? You should love yourself enough to go past certain situations, certain people, or go around rather. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And by that line, I pretty much just meant whatever happens in this world, I'm the only person that could really take my self-love away, no matter what happens. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens in this, the worst shit could happen. I can get my whole face burnt off tomorrow, God forbid. You know what I'm saying?
Man, MJ.
You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, MJ.
MJ.
But, you know, I'm going to still wake up and choose to love myself and say I'm still the prize. I still am William Prize. I still am the top at this, or I'm great at this. Or you know what I'm saying, I'm pure at here, you know, things like that.
I feel you. Okay. That's a nice. I thought it just meant, man, I'm buying all this shit and I'm really like, I'm buying this shit from, I guess is the way I interpreted it. Was like, I'm buying all of this shit. It feels nice and I'm doing it for other people, but I'm really tearing myself away of like the shit I should be focusing on. Like I'm spending money, but that currency, that attention is going to the wrong thing. So I'm robbing myself of that attention. Yeah. Not to even say that, I mean, you were the creator, so you're saying what you said.
I like that though.
You know what I'm saying? I guess that's and that's the beautiful thing about music is that
it's subjective.
You almost don't even have to explain it, right? Because what it means for you is completely validated. But if it hits somebody else in another way, is it wrong? Right?
I actually, you know, I think
that's what music does.
You gotta, whenever as a creative, you gotta remember it's subjective. So when I make the music, I might mean it like this, but I think there's beauty in the listener or the fan listening to my music and pulling something out. You know what I'm saying? And I usually can resonate with whatever they pull out because my scope is very wide. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's beautiful to hear what somebody else can pull out. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. There were like 3 different songs in this one song.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, right? There were a while back, I'm not sure who made it famous, who made it like a real thing. I know it's been a thing throughout hip hop to have, you know, sort of a dual track on one song, right? So what was the thought process for starting this album this way? And then like 83 Feet, what is that specifically? And what, like, how did that come together? I do want to say, you know, looking back a year ago, you had dropped a freestyle, right? Dedicated to John Smith, rest in peace, John Smith. And he's one of them dudes, I'll take the time to say this now. We didn't have the closest relationship. I played football with him back when I went to 71st. I've known him all throughout then. Yeah. But I mean, he great spirit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Always a guy that my favorite memories of him just in the practices was just him. He would just roast our secondary coach all day. Just all day, just for whatever reason. He would just, but they were so close because it was like, John's going to get the work done. Yeah. On the field, you know what I'm saying? Like he's still gonna do what he needs to do, but he's gonna talk to you too. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna say some shit, and I love that energy. And even after I moved away to Charlotte and everything, you know, we didn't talk often, but when we did, it was always on some, you know, how you doing, how you feeling, like how you been, you know what I'm saying? And those people that you can kind of not see for a while and jump in and out of conversation, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a spirit that's missed. I want to make sure that, you know, that's out there. Rest in peace, John Smith. But you dedicated that freestyle. And funny enough, the freestyle was called Up From Here. Yeah. So I do want to know if there's a connection here for what sparked the resurgence of the process of this album. Yes. And how that came together. And then take me from there to the intro.
All right, so
I know that was a lot, but take me.
I like that.
Take me from where you were at that point to the intro and why it's called 83 Feet, Helipad, you know.
So originally, my first album was supposed to be called Fruition. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because really, in my mind, as a younger artist, I said, before I drop my first album, I'm going to make sure I'm here, and here. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, I said, I just want an album. So Fruition was supposed to be whenever, you know, I've made it to that top tier, you know, I've blown up. So then from there, life changed, projects changed, the motive changes. So it went to a project called Will to Live. And at this point, this was kind of like about my own walk in life. Just, you know, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do now? That's where I was at. And during that time, I actually had a conversation with John. I went over his crib one day, and we probably just sat and talked for a couple hours or so. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling. And from that conversation, that kind of just sparked, you know, more motivation for Will to Live. As I'm working on other stuff, I get my first radio interview with 104.5. He was like pretty much the only person to like tap in and like physically let me know he was like,
that's dope,
watching the joint. Thus came that clip from the intro. He sent me a clip, and that's what I ended up using on the intro.
That's dope.
So unfortunately, after his passing, I'm looking through my text line, and he's congratulating me on the radio thing, and he said, "Hey, it's only up from here." And when I read that, I took that as pretty much I'm acknowledging all that I've done up to this point. Like, wow, look at what I've done. Like, look at this. This is great. But it's more work to do, and I'm excited for it. It's almost like cutting the grass, like cutting your lawn, and you look at it, it's all edged up, looking all good and everything. And you know you got to cut that shit again next week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, who you telling, man? You want to get out there early?
Right.
Trying to get out there before the sun really come up like that?
Ooh, when that sun hitting.
Oh,
beaming,
my
so.
gosh. And then the last house we lived in my senior year, I ain't end up graduating from 71st. I was there 3 years, and then I finished off at Terry Sanford.
okay.
And so
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why I wasn't there. Like my senior year, I
Damn,
wasn't there at all. And so I went there because it was really because of football, and I was rehabbing my knee injury and coming back and like everything like that. And at 71st, we don't throw the ball.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, best chance here. Our lease was up, and they were like, oh, well, where do you want to go? And I said, let's go to Terry Sanford. They do throw the ball.
Right.
I remember that from when we played them. So I tried to go there, fucked the knee up again. So it was just like, man, let me try this student thing out.
Right.
I forgot where I was going with that. What were we talking about?
We were talking about leading up to what led up to the intro being the name, and then you had branched off and you was talking about.
No, more recently there was a point there, but anyway, anyway, the point was like I think what I was getting around to is it's funny sometimes when the inspiration, like where it comes from.
Yeah.
And I remember when John did pass away, I had thought of him before I knew that happened.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know he passed away. Right. I just you randomly think of people.
Facts.
You just wonder, I wonder what he up to. You know what I'm saying? The next day, because I'm on and off of social media. I'm not always on there. And then it was like, oh, post 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And I was like, oh, shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what that can do to kind of fuel somebody when they step into that, booth. And I don't know what your experience was, but I'm sure even with the multitude of people we have lost, right, in addition, it's always, interesting to see where the motive can go to.
Definitely.
And when you lose somebody,
it feels, for me, with both John and my boy Lee, like I have had many conversations with them about what life was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like especially with me with the music, with the crew, and things of that nature.